This is a long orchestrated heist. A security company named Foru is moving a cash-loaded armored truck when all of a sudden a cement mixer blocks their path. What is this? The criminals use an excavator to hoist the armored van, stopping it from escaping. Slice open the doors and hurl stun grenades to overpower the security agents. But they overlook a young boy sitting in a nearby vehicle watching the robbery unfold. When the gang spots him, they order the kid to step out of the car, scared and shaking. He attempts to rein his dad, but his father's already on the line, paralyzed with fright. The boy simply follows the robbers' instructions to lie flat on the ground while the robbers are relocating the cash sacks. A guard unexpectedly fights back. Ripping off one robber's mask, the thug shoots him instantly to avoid exposure. The criminals execute the remaining guards along with the boy, the child's father, Patrick Hill, witnessing his son's murder charges, at them in rage but is gunned down as he collapses. And after 3 months of recovery, he finally checks out of the hospital and signs up for a position at the same security firm. The manager, Terry, recalls the truck event, stating that 2 guards and 1 civilian were killed. They still haven't caught the cowards behind it. He informs Patrick Hill that he'll be filling in for the lost men, but he must first clear some weapon handling exams. He gets trained all day by Bullet, barely passing the requirement. To qualify as a guard, once he's approved, they call him H. Later, he gets acquainted with other guards, such as Hollow Bob and Boy Sweat Dave. Their first delivery begins with H, and everything goes smoothly, just as expected. The following day, H and Dave go on another route when armed thieves with radios stop them after locking onto them. They tell H to toss the cash bags into the back of a pickup truck, but he intentionally drops one from the truck. Sorry, pal. When one gunman steps forward, H flings a bag, then immediately shoots Andy, commends him, saying he's due for a promotion. What you did deserves credit. You're a real hero. H is then brought in to inspect footage from the original truck heist to check if any of the suspects matched the recent attackers. He focuses on one of the thieves, but tells them nothing rings a bell. Then we learn that these agents secretly work for an operative named King, who believes H will unknowingly lead them to the first robbery's culprits. Other staff celebrate H's heroics. He acknowledges their praise and resumes work until 3 months later. Bullet and H are en route when a bicycle forces them to stop, and armed goons surround the truck. Get down, a smoke bomb is deployed, causing Bullet to step out of the vehicle. But when H exits and reveals his identity, the robbers instantly back off and retreat to their base. Terry is baffled why the gunman fled at just the sight of H's face. So, let me get this straight, they just walked away. But Blake hushes Terry and tells H he'll now run his own crew and continue his current operations. Bullet chats with Boy Sweat. Dave calling H a dark soul means more later that evening. H visits the apartment of a guard named Dana, and upon discovering hidden money, he confronts her. He fires warning shots, scaring her into confessing. She admits to taking money during a past job. H presents 2 pictures of her parents, warning her of the serious consequences of deceiving him. The scene flashes back to 5 months earlier. Is with his son, Douche, who's vacationing in the U.S. H gets a call from his old crime boss, Mike, who now leads the same crew. H once fled. Mike asks H for help on one last operation, but assures him there's no risk at all. You can stand back 1,000 yards. H and Douche drive to a port near the robbery zone, simply pointing out which direction the armored truck is heading, while H grabs food for him and Douche tragedy hits, and he sees his son gunned down. H is in a coma for nearly 3 months and wakes to the news that Douche has passed away. He visits his ex-wife Jane, who blames him for what happened later. He meets with Mike and the rest, who were part of the setup that led to Douche's death, and agrees to aid H in finding the ones responsible. I Need to Know pulled the trigger. Want a name? Their group interrogates various criminals, hopping from crew to crew, until someone gives up names of a group of criminal brothers. H is taken to a facility where the brothers engage in vile crimes, but they have no intel, so H kills them. He notices a security guard working there and orders his assistant Kirsty to get some documents. These include guard background checks and Du's autopsy report. A crew of ex-Afghan soldiers discarded by their country, led by Jackson with his men. Carlos, Sam, Tom, Brad, and Jan, who murdered Duge and shot H. They are seen plotting another truck heist during a party. For Jackson, they notice H and Duge stopping their car. Sam instructs Duge to lie down as John leaps over the rail, killing 2 guards. When Duge spots him, he shoots the boy, then wounds H after this. The crew plans a final robbery worth over $150 million, more than $150 million, split with their insider revealed as Bullet Jackson and Tom go over the strategy weeks before the heist. Nervous about Jan's recklessness, but Jackson trusts he'll comply. The crew shows up at 4-0 where Bullet admits to H that he's the mole who tipped them off about the trucks. They'll kill you if you don't cooperate. He disables the CCTV and enters an empty building. Jackson's crew, fully armored, storm the truck and restrain H, then start the heist. Make a sound, all are told to lie down, hands out. But a guard panics and hits the emergency alarm. Chaos erupts as gunfire explodes and they blast open their hideout. They begin killing everyone on sight, and during the mess, one of them is hurt. Once the alarm is shut down, they unlock the gate and let in their final man to load the loot. At this point, SWAT is alerted and closing in 8 minutes away as the cops block the exit and SWAT pulls up. H grabs one attacker's weapon, shooting him in the leg, then choking him out. He had a vest on. He walks up to a looter, makes him remove his helmet. But realizing he's not his son's killer, he pulls the trigger. Jackson's gang gets pinned by Dana and another guard, delaying them. Bullet then shows his true colors, running to Dana and saying, "Give me a gun." Once armed, he murders both of them in the hallway. Dave tries to rise as Terry is dragged out and shot. H reappears, fighting one attacker hand to hand. He's injured but finishes the guy off. Jackson's gang picks up their wounded ally, heading for the car. When H shoots at them, Dave tries to get up and gets shot again, while Terry is forced to come out. H hears a click behind him, gets shot, and thinks he's dead. Jan and Bullet haul the money down via elevator drive 3 miles on quad bikes and arrive at a car. Bullet realizes Jan plans to double-cross him, but Jan reacts first, blowing his head off too. He escapes through one of many tunnels. Police can't cover them all. Sometime later, Jan sits in an apartment with a stolen fortune. Then a phone rings in his bag. H steps out behind him, tossing him Du's autopsy report. Jan stares, confused, starts reading gunshot wounds to Du's liver, lungs, spleen, and heart. H shoots him in the liver next to the lungs. John recalls the boy staring at him. John flashes back to the kid on the ground. H shoots the spleen, then the heart. H walks out, meeting Agent Kim, confirming it's done and he might recover the cash. H then enters a car with another man and drives off.